Carter Competition Series carburetors bought out by Edelbrock. What's the difference between an Edelbrock carburetor and a Carter Competition carburetor? Nothing. History is, and Edelbrock doesn't publicize this ever, but Edelbrock bought Carter carburetor, and Edelbrock has made no changes to Carter's design. And I hope to point that out in this video. Particularly things of interest are, see right under the Carter sign, see that little hole right under the T, and this little hole right under the R. This one is looks like it's riveted on, or no, it's screwed on with these screws here. The nameplate is. But anyway, them little holes right there are what Vic puts his Edelbrock nameplate on this carburetor. There's the two screws the Carter one is put down on. What's changed in 40 years, 50 years? Well, here's a and here's one, and here's one, this little thing here, and here's one here, and these two little things back here, 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, there's a difference. The wind that goes over and sucks fuel out of the secondaries, this protective shield right here is what that's for. Edelbrock has, Rochester has perfected that, but of course this was before that knowledge. This Carter one was. 2 adjustment valves, 2 plugs, PVC right in the middle, PVC, 2 adjustment screws, 2 plugs, high and low. This is vacuum advance, and this one is, I think it's the automatic, what's that called, whenever your transmission shifts down. And then the throttle, this little built-in thing right here, well, it's screwed in, I'm sorry. The hole in this, the hole in this. There's nothing different, basically. The choke isn't on the Carter, of course, and the choke is on the Edelbrock. Don't ever fault Edelbrock for the design of their carburetor. They very simply just bought it from Carter. Exact same carburetor. Exact same molds. Exact same pieces. Gasket set, exactly the same. The double, I've got this one on, the Edelbrock one here to there to fill both fuel bowls. Here it is for the Carter, this little rise thing here, this little rise thing here, with a little dimple on it, with the little dimple on it, and here's the other one with the little dimple on it, with the little dimple on it, and even well, I showed you this, but it's got a little dimple in it. Got a little dimple in it. What is different? Nothing. Edelbrock makes an American-made carburetor in America, sold by Americans to Americans, thus keeping American money in America. And that I will always be thankful for. But Vic, this ain't your carburetor. Carter designed it. You bought it, Mr. Money, and put your name on it. I guess good for you for keeping jobs in America. But simply enough, and I hope proven here, not your carburetor, buddy. about the design, about the molds. What's that say? Magneti Morelli with a W to the left. That'll be interesting. Nope, not on here. I did find something different. And of course the big old USA, which I'm very fond of. Don't get me wrong. Alright, 2 holes in the back mounting thing, 2 holes in the back mounting flange. No difference. I'm going to set the Edelbrock back here for a second, because this is my this is the bear. This is my love. Rochester. Rochester carburetors are designed for each cubic inch engine that it's placed on. Specifically made and manufactured for those cubic inches that it's placed on. These guys they broke ground on it. This is an interesting little point here. Very few people do. Secondary hole is in the back. Secondary hole is in the back for a performance carburetor. Take you a little drill and file and drill out those 2 little. All it does is when the secondaries start kicking in, it blocks off right away. It blocks off the fuel. But if you drill that little hole, then as soon as those things open, as soon as they're mechanical. This up here is vacuum. So as soon as they open on the bottom, then these vacuums start opening up. But until they open up like this far, you're not going to get no fuel in there. So don't impede it by drilling out to just about a little bit smaller than a tip of an eraser, right in front of the fuel hole. And to adjust the spring tension on here, which should have a little bit of resistance on it, it has there's the wind thing to keep the fuel from back feeding out of here at full throttle, maximum RPM going down the strip or whatever. This plate right here keeps the air from sucking fuel out of there. And here, if you have that problem, cut this back at a 45-degree angle, stick you something back here to extend that up so that you don't lose fuel out of here either. This is also where this hole right here is where you pour the fuel in at a salvage yard or something to see if the carburetor is working. Find a carburetor on an old engine, just bring the battery, some fuel, pour a little bit of fuel right in here, put the battery on the engine, start it up right in the salvage yard. It'll run as long as you keep the float bowl full of fuel. And then you'll know if you got a good carburetor or not. This little pin right here is the choke. When it's cold, this little lever right here will not allow these little plates right here to open. They're not opening now because that plate's on. But if you open that, then they open. So sometimes people stick their big old screwdrivers down in there and bend that, just totally bend it out of the way so that it'll always be open. Good idea. I don't know. It's a cold engine and that will open unless you're going forward this way and your thrust is so powerful that it throws it back, and for that moment until you get the pressure off of the gravity force of this thing coming back. See, when it releases, nothing's going to hold it up. So you press the gas pedal hard enough and quick enough and it got enough thrust on it, bam, it'll lock in maybe before it has time to open. After it opens, of course, you're free. So if you don't like the chance of that locking out your secondaries, just bend it back with a screwdriver. Rochester This is a big block 750 CFM or higher off of the 72 Buick, and absolutely almost 1 in a million, strictly for big engines. This Carter, can't remember right away, but it's pre-70s or 73 or earlier. And then the Edelbrock, of course, which is Carter. Sorry, Vic. Still love you. Just don't like you for stealing the name or just buying a name and calling it yours. The numbers on the Carter, 8. I'm going to have to look this up. Can't really see it. 8605S 3545. 3545 is the size of this carburetor. I hope it's a 500 or maybe a 600, because that'll work on just about anything. So there's my tour of the Edelbrock carburetor versus Carter, and then just a little bit of a love affair I have with the Rochester carburetor, this being my main source. But square bore, spread bore, quadrajet versus square bore Carter. Them secondaries are bad. Primaries, same size. At idle and probably up to 2 or 3 grand, same thing. These secondaries, when they kick in, buddy, you got some performance coming. These secondaries are what? Yeah, they're secondaries. It's a design, but this is a little bit more volumetric availability in a quadrajet. The availability being that your engine will draw in so much air, and this will only allow so much. This will only allow so much more. Wouldn't you think? Goods and bads versus both, but this square bore design is strictly Holley and Carter / Edelbrock, and has their own intake, and a spread bore, of course, has its own intake. There are adapter plates to make one adapt to the other. A couple more Rochesters I have up here, and that concludes my video. Go Ron Paul.